They've just asked me to do a wee brief history on how we come to today with the 20k signs on. So without boring you too much, I'll just quickly run through what it started with. And in 2009 I was fairly fresh to the school bus industry, and part of our commitment to school bus safety was to supply the fluoro vests to kids. But fortunately Maureen from the Rural Women's picked up on their commitment and got in touch with me to see if I would come to one of the Rural Women's meetings to see what we could do to improve child safety around the buses, which at that stage, as a relatively new driver after 2 or 3 months driving school buses, to see a lot of near misses and driver behaviour around school buses was quite shocking, to be honest. So it was good to get the opportunity to talk to Maureen, and from there we come up with a theory that maybe some sort of flashing school sign would be the best way to go. It was left up to then to Rural Women's, who I must take my hat off. They did a lot of campaigning for about 2 years, I think it was, before we finally got hold of TERNZ and MOE, MOT, NZTA, all got on board, and we come back with an idea of a proposal to put to the school bus safety people. After that, the proposal went ahead and we've got onto this trial. It took us to February. We had a meeting to kick the trial off of what we wanted to do. In May, we had a speed camera put on the bus which monitored the traffic speeds past the school buses, and we're probably horrified to see that the behaviour of the motorists around this district was as we thought, was not good. Since then we did the advertising campaign in June, and we noticed a slight change in the motorist behaviour. There was a few people slowing down for buses, and they became a bit more aware. Now today we've got to where the signs are at now, and it's been positive for the last couple of days. We've actually had a couple of them going to do some testing on them, and from the reports back from the bus drivers that we employ, that it's been a real positive outcome so far. So here's hoping that once they all go on this afternoon, that we might hopefully get 80–90% of drivers at least obeying the 20k sign. The beauty about the sign is that it's not just to say it's a school bus, it actually tells drivers that are driving past what they are supposed to do when they're actually going past a school bus, which is to slow down to 20k's. You'll see how they work in a minute, but it's not just a 20k sign. There'll be flashing orange lights as well that work in conjunction with the hazard lights, and it's just been a revelation as far as school bus driving in the district. And on to that, while I'm here, I'd just like to say a few thank yous. First of all to the NZTA people and New Zealand Road Safety Trust. They're the ones that have got in behind and probably put the money towards making this work. I'd also like to thank TERNZ and Lucy and the team, and Mackie Research, who once they picked it up were the ones that were the force behind it to make it actually work to get it to where we are today. I'd also like to thank, they're not here today, but there's 2 companies that had a lot to do with putting the signs on the buses, Bus and Truck, and Ace Auto Electrical. They've spent the last 2 months installing the signs at little to no cost, as cheap as they could do it, so that's really nice. And also like to thank Sam and Borough School for the opportunity today to come here and do our launch. It means a lot to us to have a local school. The beauty about Borough School, it's got a catchment area that goes all the way to Mount Somers, to the Rangitata River, to the Rakaia River, and way down to the seaside. So all these kids that you see in front of us today are from different districts, some of them travelling up to an hour and a quarter on the bus to get to here. So a big thank you to the kids for coming out, and Sam for letting them be here. And the other big thank you I've got is to Maureen and the team, who without her and the Rural Women's driving this from our original idea back in 2009 and pushing the right buttons to get the people on board, I don't think this would have ever happened. So a really big thank you to Rural Women's. They've been a major part of this, and I can't thank them enough as far as my Pearsons Coachlines go to get us to where we're here today. And going forward, I just hope it's a starting point now for maybe something bigger, for maybe a rollout in New Zealand. Hopefully things can change. This is where it starts, to having safer roads for the kids around New Zealand and around buses. And if we save one child, well, the whole thing's been absolutely worth it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.